Raisin, you are stupid! There's a bridge right over there! Raisin! My goodness, you're becoming waffles. Nobody wants to become a waffles. Hello everybody, I'm here to you, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So with those 2 shrines now completed, now I'd like to move on from the linear region and continue on our explorations. Now it has been fun to— ooh, aw, cute little stone talus babies. Ah, they're cute. But it's been really fun to explore this area. But I think now is a good time to move on from this place and come back a little bit later, because we've already taken care of everything in Zora's domain now, and the rest of the stuff in this region is more so located in the northern part of this place. So I think now's a good time to take a break from this place and move on to the next one. I know I said earlier in the Let's Play that we'd take care of everything in one region before moving on to the next one. The more I've been thinking about it, though, the more I think I might just do this structure instead, where we take care of everything in one place of a region, and then take care of the rest of the stuff in the region later, because doing it this way makes it so that I don't feel overwhelmed with trying to take care of everything in a region before moving on, because there's a lot of stuff in these regions. So if we stayed here, we'd probably stay in the linear region for like 2 more episodes, and I kind of just want to move on and show off some other stuff in this game, and then we'll come back a little bit later. So it looks like there's going to be a stable over there, and where there's a stable, there's a shrine. And oh boy, this shrine. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Do I have a story about this one? Raisin? Okay, I don't blame Raisin for that one, because it's kind of a weird angle to try to go through the gate. To you sets foot in the shrine, I am Mirro, Shaz, in the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer this trial. Tempered power, Mirro Shaz's shrine. Blah, that's hard to say. Hooray for jump cuts, because I just noticed that I didn't actually have the notes for the shrine with me right now, so I had to pull them up real quick. And it's a little hard to do when you have 400 plus pages of notes for a Let's Play. So this place. I don't like this dungeon. Iron Sledgehammer. Alright, inventory is full, so we'll come back to that one if a weapon breaks. So, do you want to know how strong my opinions are for this dungeon? Well, look no further than my notes. This is easily my least favorite dungeon in the entire game. Because this right here is a pain. I think I said that, but then I did it perfectly, and now I look like a dummy. But anyway, yeah, this is my least favorite dungeon in the entire game, and the reason why we'll be taken care of in a moment. Now, this is not the most difficult one in the world, not by a long shot. There's one a little bit later, which we'll definitely see towards the— actually, we kind of saw at one point earlier when we were in the Atena region, and there is an island off in the distance that I pointed out was very difficult. But that treasure chest over there, just so you know, there's another treasure chest thingy beyond this shrine. So the thing about this place is, on my first playthrough, this drove me so crazy, and I got so frustrated trying to take care of this, I broke all my weapons trying to get the stupid puzzle to work, but nothing I did was working. because either it seemed like it was too much power or too little. No matter what I did, it always never worked. That's proper grammar. I don't care what anyone says. I got to the point where I got so frustrated that I was like, you know what? Screw this place. I'll come back later for this treasure chest. This was the very last thing that I ever did before I went for Ganon on my first playthrough. Everything else I did, except for Korok Seeds. Everything else I did. Every side quest, I did every shrine. Everything else I did. But I refused to come back here because it just made me so mad. So, I've not really been looking forward to recording this dungeon in particular. So, hopefully, this doesn't turn into like a big rage montage. One word of advice I could recommend if you're having trouble with this is that it seems like using a spear makes it easier to aim. So, one thing I like doing is I like building up the power with the two-handed weapon, with doing a spear attack like that. And then I like using the spear to adjust my aiming. Come on, 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 come on. I don't care that the sword spear is badly damaged.
Wah, wah, wah.
Come on, 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 come on! Finally! Finally! We did it! And what is our reward? Actually pretty decent. So yeah, that one is actually pretty worth it because a giant ancient core thingy is very, very useful for getting a lot of the really good stuff at the Akala Research Tech Lab. The rest of the treasure chests are probably not that well worth it though, to be honest, because they just have sledgehammers, which are definitely better used for the actual puzzle itself. But, again, the traumatic memory of playing this for my first playthrough has left me scarred and makes me resent this dungeon forever. Now, there are definitely dungeons that are a lot more difficult than this one, believe me. We haven't even scratched the surface on how difficult these can be. But this is just the one that sticks out to me the most when it comes to dungeons that were just frustrating to deal with on a first playthrough. Might be a good idea to pick up the other sledgehammer. And now we can finally leave this awful, terrible, evil place once and for all. Your resourcefulness and overcoming. Skip! And now it's raining. Oh boy. I'm happy with this. I like the rain. But now, we're done with this horrible, horrible place forever. Seeing that treasure chest icon next to the shrine name makes me so happy because on my first playthrough, that just reminded me that I never went back to get that treasure chest for the longest time. And it was a really annoying reminder to see every single time that I pulled up the map when I was in this region. So, before we end off today's video, there are a couple more things I'd like to go over at the Woodland Stable itself. So, first of all, there's a character around here that I want to talk to. I sometimes see it in my dreams. Do you think that a long time ago people used to live in the sky? I think so. Hey, mister, just once in my life, I want to see balloons float right up to the sky. If you'll help me realize my balloon dream, I'll give you a treasure I got from the sky as thanks. Leave it to me. Thank you. Now put some balloons onto a barrel and make it float up high. Balloon flight. The name of this side quest is very well worth mentioning, but first let's actually explain what you do during this. Do I not have the materials needed for this? Well, this is awkward. Oh, never mind. So, what you want to do is that you want to take out some octo balloons and drop it on here. What? Okay, that's not entirely what I was planning, but yeah, if you drop an octo balloon on an object, you can actually make it float away for a bit. I don't think that's the one that Shama wanted to float away, though, so I don't think that's going to count. So let's try it again with this one. There we go.
Floaty! Balloons soaring high in the sky! Fly up and away to the land in the clouds. I want to visit the land in the sky by a balloon, then I'm going to ride a really big bird. Yep, that's my dream. Thank you, mister. This is a treasure from the sky. Here, take it.
And we get a star fragment and a couple of Skyward Sword references, which makes me oh so happy because I love the Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So that side quest named Balloon Flight has some pretty noteworthy meaning behind it. So this may come across as common knowledge for most Nintendo fans, but the CEO for the longest time during the Wii and DS era, Satoru Iwata, has been with Nintendo for the longest time, and tragically he passed away a couple years before Breath of the Wild was released. So, Balloon Fight on the NES was one of the first games that he worked on with Nintendo, and it's kind of become part of his legacy, because you can also see this in other games, such as Nintendo Land and stuff like that. And you also see a lot of Balloon Fight references and a lot of Satoru Iwata tribute videos that people have made over the years. Now, there are definitely a lot more Iwata tributes in Breath of the Wild itself, which we'll be going over a little bit later in the series. But this is definitely one that sticks out in my mind. The last thing I want to take care of in this video is I want to talk to this lady.
Hello there, traveler. Welcome to our stable. You'll stay a while, won't you? Oh. Oh, that's a mighty fine horse you have there. If you're interested, may I help you change your horse's gear or mane?
Yes, please.
Oh, but you should know I'm only interested in horses that I've raised with lots of love. How's your horse faring on that front? Wow, this one's eyes are positively sparkling with affection. I can tell this little one is just head over heels for you. That settles it. I'll gladly help you out with the gear.
We can actually customize our pony. So we can change the bridle. It looks like you don't have any bridles yet, so it looks like we're gonna need to come across those. And we don't have any saddles either, but what we can customize right now is the mane. Now, we have the normal mane that most of the horses have, but we also have the long mane, a mohawk, the French braid, a floral, braided, and we can also have some color variants as well. This is a really, really cool detail that I don't see anybody talk about in this game, because I'm pretty sure most people don't even know this is the thing. So as for right now, we're going to give Raisin a long mane because I think this is the one that looks the coolest and it kind of matches my hairstyle. So let's take care of that.
That looks great! Please come back anytime you feel like changing your horse's gear.
Alright then, so I believe that's everything I wanted to mention about the stable itself. I believe that was the only side quest in this actual place, but I gotta say, this stable is easily one of the prettiest ones in the entire game, because we have a nice dining area over here, the lake over there is pretty nice. Just the entire area is just so gorgeous, and you can see the sun setting over there. This is such a pretty game! But now taking care of all that, we're in this video off here. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The options on where to go next, see you on the next video in the playlist, where we'll be continuing on this path and setting out for the mysterious forest way off in the distance over there. Your alternate route option, however, is to explore this mountain over here as we set out to search for the next divine beast. You can also search for the Koroks across the Woodland region, or you can just ignore all of that and go straight for Ganon. So thank you all so much for watching this video of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I believe here to you, and where would you like to go to next?